Hello my buffalo, pikafan003 here, and today I will be doing yet another reaction video to yet another Crazy Bird 101 fanfic. As I've said in all of the Crazy Bird 101 fanfics I've read before, she is one of my best friends, and is really the only one who gives me suggestions on what to react to. Albeit they're her fics, I don't mind. Keep making them. They're really good, I really enjoy reading them. But I also do look for your guys' support in the comments section on things I should react to as well. Like I've said in my Kickstarter video, I will be reading the comments section for things you want me to react to, and the last time I got a comment was on my reaction to Smile HD, which was well over a year ago. So please, I really look forward to your comments. I really want to know what you want me to react to. But either way, let's start this. The Joy of Creation. A Five Nights at Freddy's fanfic. Warning. Alternate universe. Sentient robots. Possible typos / writing errors. Disclaimer. Five Nights at Freddy's belongs to their rightful owner. Flames will be used to cook Fazbear's pizza. Alright. And this will be your office, a scrawny-looking man said as he entered the small room, wiping his nose quickly with a handkerchief he had in his pocket. A young man, just out of college, took a few steps forward until he stood in the center. The room itself wasn't too shabby, aside from the cobwebs and thin layers of dust that covered some of the furniture and equipment. It was in pretty decent condition. The young man took off his college cap and ran his fingers through his short oak-brown hair as he rubbed his head after observing the room. You know, we never actually got a good description of what Mike looked like, but I guess that's up to the imagination. Either way. Well, he heard the man standing in the doorway ask a bit anxiously. How about it, Mr. Schmidt? Looks all right, Mike replied honestly. He turned back to the scrawny man and gave him a small smile. I'll take the job. The man's dull eyes suddenly lit up like the 4th of July. He grinned widely and shook hands with the younger man, sealing the deal. Welcome aboard, Mike, he said enthusiastically, a clear change from his almost depressed behavior he had shown earlier. I hope you enjoy your nights here in Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Thanks. Mike slipped his hands into his pockets and looked around the room once more. So when do I start? Tonight, the scrawny manager replied. Well, it could be in a different state than I live in, but I don't know the generic laws for states. But I live in Minnesota, and I think it's the law that you have to wait at least 24 hours before you're able to start working where you're signing up, and they accept you. But this is an alternate universe, and could be in a different state. I don't know the state's laws on work starting. So, rules could be very different. So, clapping his hands together and rubbing them, I'll get you your uniform and you can start as soon as we finish up here. How does that sound? Mike blinked. Sounds like a good deal. Great. Now if you would just follow me to the changing room, we can get you suited up and ready to go. Suited up? Suited up! This is Five Nights at Freddy's! It's more than likely going to be in a Freddy Fazbear suit. No, that won't come till later. So have I read this fanfic? No. How do I know this? I don't. Anyway. Sure, Mike replied. He gave the office a second glance over his shoulder before following the manager down an empty, run-down working hallway. They passed a flickering light before stopping in front of a door labeled Dressing Room Staff Only. Inside you'll find a locker with your uniform. The locker would be 212, the manager said as he leaned against the wall with his arms folded. Mike thanked him and gripped the dull silver doorknob. You best hurry if I were you, he heard the scrawny man mutter to himself before he closed the door behind him. The young man approached a group of metal lockers that were lined up against the wall. Some had a few dents and scratches in them, and he walked up to the locker that was labeled 212 and found that the one was almost completely faded away, as is most numbers on old lockers. Anyway, this place has certainly seen better days, Mike thought to himself before opening the locker. His uniform was your standard security guard uniform. Yeah, I could just picture it. It's blue, like a deep blue, with the mock police hat. Anyway, with the Fazbear logo present on the right sleeve. Mike quickly switched from his casual fall clothing to his new work uniform, not wanting to keep the manager waiting. He placed the security hat on while looking in the mirror that was hanging on the wall to his left before leaving. Outside, he found the manager fidgeting with something on his phone before he looked up and grinned at him. "Well, look at you! Pedophilia! Ah!" he exclaimed cheerfully. "How does it feel on you? Is the shirt a little too short? That's serious pedophilia." "Ugh. No, it's good," Mike replied. "Good," the manager said before he turned his attention up to the clock that hung on the wall. Mike could have sworn that he saw the man's cheerful smile drop after reading the time, 11:56 p.m. Well, actually, I don't think that would work. I mean, it's an older man checking out a man that's just out of college. I don't know if that would classify under pedophilia, but forgetting that topic. "Ah," the scrawny man looked over to Mike with an anxious smile, beads of sweat already rolling down his forehead, even if it wasn't that warm. "Well, I best be going," he said. "You know how to find the office, yes?" "Yeah," Mike nodded. The manager sighed with relief, knowing that he won't have to stay any longer than he wanted to. "Well, I guess I'll see you in the morning, then. 6 o'clock, right?" Mike asked as he watched him turn to leave. 6 o'clock, the manager replied before he quickly strolled down the hall. 6 o'clock! 6 o'clock! 6 o'clock! 6 o'clock! 6 o'clock! 6 o'clock! Yes. SpongeBob reference. Right, Mike said to himself before heading over to his new office. Once inside, he took a seat in the old office chair that was resting against the wall and picked up a device that resembled a tablet. He checked the time on his watch, and it read only a minute before midnight. Mike made himself comfortable before sitting up slightly when he heard the faint ring of a bell coming from outside. 12 a.m. Mike switched on the tablet and almost jumped out of his seat when he was greeted with a side view of the mechanical band that attracted the love and attention of children all over the state. The band itself consisted of 3 animals, a rabbit, a chicken, and a bear. Anyone who's ever lived in the area would know of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. It was practically the only place in the county that kids could go to have real fun, but it certainly wasn't as popular as Chuck E. Cheese's. The band's leader was none other than the famous bear himself, Freddy Fazbear. Standing to his left was Chica the Chick, with her signature "Let's Eat" bib and a giant cupcake that was always given out to children who had their birthday here. Standing to his right was the band's guitarist, Bonnie the Bunny. If Mike's ever seen a depressed-looking animate object, it was Bonnie and the half-lidded look he always had. Ring, 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 ring. Mike placed the tablet down and looked over to the old desk phone that was resting beside the fan. He just barely lifted himself from his chair when he heard a voice suddenly play from the small speaker. The voice itself seemed to drown out all other noises that were present around him. "Hello? Oh, hello!" Mike scooted his chair forward a bit curiously. I wanted to record a message for you to help you get settled in on your first night. I've actually worked in that office before you. I'm finishing up my last week, as a matter of fact. So I know it can be a bit overwhelming, but I'm here to tell you there's nothing to worry about. You'll do fine. So let's focus on getting you through your first week, okay? Whatever you say, pal. Mike yawned as he slouched in his seat a bit. Let's see. First, there's an introductory greeting from the company that I'm supposed to read. It's kind of a legal thing, you know. Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a magical place for kids and grown-ups alike, where fantasy and fun come to life. Fazbear's Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person. Upon discovering that damage or death had occurred, a missing persons report will be filed within 90 days or as soon as the property and premise have been thoroughly cleaned and bleached and the carpets have been replaced, blah blah blah. Wait, what? Mike perked up a bit in his seat. Did he just hear what he thinks he just heard? I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. I'm getting over a cold, so you'll have to deal with me having to a few times, so just to get my Sinuses cleared and... I'm sorry. I don't try to do this. Anyway. Now, that might sound bad, I know, but there's really nothing to worry about. The animatronic characters here do get a bit quirky at night, but do I blame them? No. If I were forced to sing those same stupid songs for 20 years and I never got a bath, I'd probably be a bit irritable at night too. So remember, these characters hold a special place in the hearts of children, and we need to show them a little respect, right? Okay. Mike dug his nails into the fabric of the chair's armrests. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry. My nose keeps plugging up when I talk. Anyway. Restarting that sentence. Mike dug his nails into the fabric of the chair's armrests while biting his bottom lip nervously. What exactly was this guy talking about? So just be aware the characters do tend to wander a bit, but they're left on some kind of... No, not but. They're left on some kind of free-roaming mode at night. Something about their servos locking up if they get turned off for too long. They used to be able to walk around during the day too, but then there was the bite of 87. Yeah, it's amazing that the human body can live without the frontal lobe, you know? It's front part of your brain. Chomped right off. Mike's jaw dropped almost instantly, his eyes as wide as saucers now. Now, concerning your safety, the only real risk to you as a night watchman here, if any, is the fact that these characters, if they happen to see you after hours, probably won't recognize you as a person. They'll most likely see you as a metallic endoskeleton without its costume on. Now, since that's against the rules here at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, they'll probably try to, forcefully stuff you inside a Freddy Fazbear suit. Now that wouldn't be so bad if the suits themselves weren't filled with crossbeams, wiring, and animatronic devices, especially around the facial area, so you can imagine how having your head forcefully pressed inside one of these could cause a bit of discomfort, and death. The only parts of you that would likely see the light of day again would be your eyeballs and teeth that would pop out of the front of the mask. What? Yeah, they don't really tell you these things when you sign up. No shit, Sherlock, Mike cried before, almost dropping the tablet from his lap. But hey, first day should be a breeze. I'll chat with you tomorrow. Check those cameras, and remember to close the doors only if absolutely necessary. Gotta conserve power. Alright, good night. Mike was practically sweating by the time the call had ended. His mind struggled to process what he had just heard. This was a joke, right? Some kind of welcome to the company prank employees pull on the new guy or girl. The young man laughed a bit when he came to that conclusion and wiped away some sweat that had gathered on his forehead. Killer animatronics, he snorted at the idea. Yeah, speaking of snorting, I'm sorry. I gotta do that. My nose gets plugged, so... And I don't want to sound stuffed up when I'm reading, so... Sounds like someone was rolling on the job. The young man switched the tablet back on. He paled. Where's the rabbit? He asked himself out loud. Where Bonnie had stood just minutes earlier was now empty. Ah, come on! Meh. Stupid. Nose. Anyway. Mike noticed that power was now at 86% before he frantically flipped through the other cameras. He stopped when he found the silhouette of the purple rabbit standing under the flickering light in the West Hall. How long had he been standing there? Mike checked the time and saw that it was almost 2. Was this for real? ... 3 hours passed. Mike didn't remove his eyes off the tablet screen as he monitored Bonnie's movements throughout most of the west portion of the building. Ah, stupid nose! I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm getting over a cold. So when I'm reading and I do a lot of N sounds, my nose tends to get plugged up. Anyway. He asked himself if he was even aware that he was being watched. It was 5:30 now, and Bonnie hasn't moved from his spot in the supply closet. Mike chewed on his lip nervously when he saw that he was down to 29% power. Hesitant, he placed the tablet down and took a deep breath. He wiped the side of his face and found that he'd been sweating for most of the night. Christ, he muttered to himself. He picked up the tablet and nearly choked on his own breath when he found the supply closet empty. He flipped through the cameras and felt his heart race when he didn't find the rabbit in any of the rooms. "Where are you?" he thought. He then paused and slowly turned his chair over to the west door. The other side was an inky black, and he spotted the light switch on the other side. Not on the other side, because you can't see through darkness! And he spotted the light switch on the side just above the door switch. There we go. There would be no point in using it now, but he had another idea, and he wasn't going to like it. Standing up, he slowly approached the doorway. He wondered if the doors had always been a part of the building. Mike took a deep breath before exhaling slowly. He drummed his fingers against the painted metal nervously and, with all the courage he could muster, reached a hand out. The young man stilled when he felt something brush against the tips of his fingers. Something soft. He immediately retreated his hand back and slammed the lights. "Yes! Slam the lights to meet your incoming doom!" The light buzzed to reveal Bonnie standing mere inches from the door, staring down at him with a pair of crimson irises that seemed to look into his soul. A scream ripped from Mike's throat, and he slammed the door button. "Good! I would have done that in the first place, instead of reaching my hand out." Anyway, separating himself from the machine, he placed a hand over his rapidly beating heart before jumping when he heard the morning bell suddenly go off. 6 a.m. The power automatically shut off and the door opened. Mike reached out his hand again and felt nothing but open air. He cautiously stepped through the office door just as the main power switched on. "Mr. Schmidt," the manager greeted him in a surprised tone. "Good to see you're still in one piece, champ." Yeah, Mike said shakingly. "Thanks." The manager's smile dropped an inch. "Is something wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost." Mike quickly shook his head. No. It's just I had a pretty rough night." He winced when the scrawny man suddenly slapped his back. "I hear ya," he sighed in agreement. "Things tend to get a little hectic here after hours." "You don't say," Mike murmured. What the hell did he get himself into? "Yes! What the hell indeed! But anyway..." That is the end of Chapter 1, titled Night 1. So, it's official. I am obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's. So obsessed that not only did I download the game onto both my phone and tablet, but I am also writing a serious fanfic about it as well. Please know that this won't be one of those where Mike meets Foxy, and that Foxy's a good guy, and they fall in love. Oh, that sounds disgusting. Anyway. While I'm a huge shipper of those two, why? And it's probably my number one OTP. Oh, no. That won't be present in this fic. Good. Anywho, I can't guarantee when updates will come. It's my senior year and things are getting real. 5 days is school, I tell ya. Anyway, with that is the end of Chapter 1 to Joy of Creation. I will be reading this fanfic one chapter at a time, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Also, be sure to check out my channel, check out my other videos, refer me to others, so that way, once I reach 100 subscribers, I could do my plan that I'm not looking forward to at all. I have a plan for a 100 subscriber special where I play Five Nights at Freddy's 2 when it comes out. I saw the trailer for it and it's I don't want to, but I'm gonna play it when I reach my 100 milestone. Ooh. Seriously, just not looking forward to playing that game. But with that, don't forget to tell me what you think. Don't forget to tell her what you think. And also, please just tell me what you want me to react to. I'm really looking forward to it. I really want to know what you want me to react to, but I'm not getting any comments. So just please, I want to know what you want me to react to. I wanted to make this series, and I want to make it interesting for you guys. Tell me what you want me to react to, and I'll do it. No problem. It's nothing I can't handle. But please, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, refer me to your friends, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye. Keep it Buffalo.